Gemma is joining us via Skype. Gemma, good morning to you. Nice to see you. Have the chance to speak with you again. So this is where we get an idea of where the real money is moving on the nabtrade platform. Where is it going this week, Gemma?
It's interesting when you say the real money. I mean, this is mums and dads, right? This is the average person. This is not Insta money. We're just ordinary people, I think. And it's always interesting to see how retail investors respond to the environment that we're looking at. I think they're not in any way ignorant of some of the things Jonathan was just talking about, which is good, because we have seen this quite dramatic shift in people's behavior. So we have, again, record cash. People are sitting on a ton of cash at the moment. And we are seeing this real trend toward larger investors and traders moving their portfolios, big wholesale shifts. But the other thing which you've got on the screen is lithium. That's happening, a lot of lithium. Basically, when I look at the numbers, there's a really, really, really long list of anything related to lithium, maybe a bit of rare earths, a couple of extras, and then the rest of the market. And all of the activity is in that space. It tends to be fairly small, not tiny, fairly small relative to the other trades, but it's all about lithium still, has been for quite a while, a couple of months. That's the thing at the moment.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had this week where people are asking, is it still too late to get in on this lithium story? And look, even fundamentally, a lot of people have said it's a mega trend, this whole move to EV, so not too late. So where is the money being taken from to then be put into lithium? And yeah, I know when I say real money, I mean the money that, you know, many of us are moving around.
Yeah, real people that, you know, you're not playing, right? This is your own money and you're making active choices about what to do with your own money. And that's probably the most relevant part about it. Yeah. It's serious when it's yours, right? And you might be having a bit of fun on the side, but you care very much about what it looks like at the end of the day. So sometimes it's a little bit of punting, but mostly it's people who are quite careful about what they're doing. I don't think there's a strong indication that it's coming from anywhere else. The obvious things that have fallen away, the buy now, pay laters are irrelevant now. There's nothing in our book that suggests there's any interest in that sector at all, which, you know, 12 months ago was absolutely not true. And certainly 2 years ago, 3 at least of the buy now, pay later stocks were in our top 10. So that stuff has drifted away. Most of our investors got out of Afterpay before the Square/Block deal was finalized. So a lot of them did have a ton of cash. And they've done extraordinarily well out of it. The average buy price for Afterpay was around $40. So even if they let that transaction go through and sold SQ2, they still have done extraordinarily well out of it. They've doubled their money, even if they were in that situation. But the vast majority of people got out at sort of $130, $120. So a lot of them had cash from that transaction. It was in our top 10 stocks for quite some time. There were a lot of people who had something to do. And if you were looking for your next growth sector, certainly lithium is a nice place to go. So I think we've seen a lot of that transition. We've gone from that hot sector to this hot sector. And then we're also seeing for a lot of our larger investors where they've got a bit of speculative play money, their kind of growth money. I want to do something fun with this. I want a stock that could rocket 500% or it falls through the floor. I'm not super fussed because it's not my core portfolio. We're seeing a lot of that money flood in as well.
So Gemma, Jonathan Payne and I in the break were just having a little bit of a chat about Rivian. For him, that was sort of a big bell ringing moment when we saw its market cap there toward the end of 2021. What are you seeing in terms of movement on the platform in terms of international shares?
Yeah, that's really interesting. So we saw Rivian a little bit of it, right? It was a very small amounts of money, and anyone who was in it, you know, you're talking trade sizes under $5,000, and hundreds of trades, not thousands. And we also saw the same thing with Lucid Group, which was the luxury version. We saw Nikola. We saw all of them, really, all of the exciting, perhaps new Teslas coming along. We don't see those at the moment. What is interesting, Tesla continues. It just continues. It just marches along. It's top of the list pretty much every day. It takes an unusual day for Tesla not to be top of the list. What surprised me last night was a very large sell in Tesla. Very, very large. It was one sell, but that sell was enough to offset all the buys and make it a sell overall. There's a lot of small buying in Tesla. It continues to be an attractive stock at the smaller end of the market. and smaller traders, I guess. But the big selling was happening. Someone's gone, I've done well enough out of this and it's time to let it go. And Walt Disney was quite similar. So Disney was a big buy for us last year, which was quite interesting. Nowhere near the Tesla size, so it's not one I would have mentioned. But it was a big buy, and we saw a similar situation there where there was sort of one big seller, but a lot of smaller buyers.
Interesting. And of course, we're heading into US quarterly, so that will give us some food for thought next week, no doubt. Gemma Dale, nabtrade, always a pleasure. I do hope you have a good weekend and stay dry out there.
We'll try. Thanks, guys.